people, welcome back to another episode of the Jagged Edge. This is Ian here along with Chris.
What's up?
Hey, number 78 for us.
Well,
We skipped again. We
our
had to go.
schedule is so off now.
Yeah,
We're all over the place. Now we skipped a week. That was your fault.
it
But
was.
we're not recording this when we usually do, and that's my fault because we had a sick pet,
Poor guy.
and so we had to take care of that. Doggo went and got itself hurt, broke its leg chasing after a squirrel, and I wish I was joking, but that is actually what happened.
And
So yeah, dealing with that right now. So we could not record at our usual day and time due to that.
right, but hey, all that aside, all the life issues and everything else, we're here now. There's still a lot that's happened. The news cycle didn't slow down. It doesn't care if we record or not. There's always going to be something out there. A whole lot happening in gaming.
Yeah, well, and I guess that's to the benefit too, because I was not aware of a little kerfuffle with Blizzard
Yeah.
and Diablo and
Yeah.
its fans at that time. So
Yeah.
that's good.
Yeah, that gives us
Well, the kerfuffle is not good, but the
No,
fact that I had
no,
time to research that, because there's a lot there. There's a lot to break down, a
There
lot
is.
to unpack in that situation.
a lot to unpack from that and BlizzCon, and of course, still some cool announcements concerning like Marvel, some DC stuff we're gonna hop into, and then a little bit of Netflix, as always. So let's not waste that time. Right up at the top of the list, we have Falcon and Winter Soldier. They're gonna get a limited series on Disney streaming. Here they come. We were
There you
talking
go.
about Disney's lineup and what they're gonna be planning. This was a report off of Variety. Now they reported that the writer from Empire, Malcolm Spellman, he's going to be working on a limited series. This is going to be starring Falcon from MCU and Bucky, White Wolf, Winter Soldier, whatever floats your boat. It's the first of the proposed shows for the Disney streaming service to get a writer attached to them. Big news. Also,
Yes.
similar to that, similar to the other MCU shows, reported to be in the works. Looks like we got Loki and Scarlet Witch limited series. These are going to be produced by Marvel Studios, headed by Mr. Foggy himself, Kevin. This is a little different from the other MCU TV show, like you might be thinking Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and also the Netflix shows, which were headed up by Marvel Studios TV Vision.
Yeah, so it's going to be good and not... Okay, that could be good, but most of the time, shit. No, that's not necessarily fair. But it's gonna have a higher budget. It's gonna have more of the MCU feel that we get from the films and not from the shows.
Right.
So I mean, the Netflix shows have had more of its gritty, down to earth, New York kind of feel to them. That's probably not going to have much of this. This is going to be your big budget feature film kind of feel to it. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. has kind of danced in between that, but it's had its ups and downs. I like the fact this is just a limited series.
Yeah.
I don't think you could go continuously or without an end to the story for this. Although I'm really curious as to what the story is going to be. These
Same.
two they don't like each other. They're not friends. And
No.
but ironically, and what most of us, if we're comic book fans, know, they've both been Captain America at some point.
Right.
And they both have their ties with the original Cap, who, while we don't know what's going to happen, it is safe to say is no longer going to be around anymore.
Right. This is something we've had in the works for a long time. We know, especially with Cap himself, moving on. We had the wrap ups of the filming for the next Avengers. We had those announcements on Twitter. Stuff like that, and it's very much something that follows, both in line with comics and both in line with, contracts kind of reaching that point. So there's a lot they can do with the character still. Like you said, we've seen this happen. I was leaning towards Falcon taking up the mantle first, but now
I still think so.
Yeah, it's looking like it. But hey, they might throw a curveball in that. We'll see.
Yeah. Who knows? Sebastian Stan still has an enormously ridiculous contract with Disney and
Right.
specifically Marvel Studios right now. So,
Right.
and then of course we're going to be getting the Black Widow movie, which I'm sure will tie in with this somehow.
Oh yeah, man, definitely. Black Widow on top of all this, I'm excited for the feel they're going to bring to this. First of all, not having it completely open-ended, knowing that there's a starting point and ending point as a little supplement if you will, to your MCU movie season. That's awesome. And if they catch that feel that they've caught all these years leading up to Infinity War and the rest, I think it's going to be awesome. I mean, already just seeing who's going to be in it character-wise, dadgummit. This is leaning towards must-watch TV for me. So
well, and it's a good thing that the MCU's doing it, not Sony, because what Sony would have done is they would have announced this, and then 6 months later they would have said they're going to separate these two and give them their own individual stories, because them having their own stories is better. Oh wait, no, it brings in more money. At least it's not.
Oh no, that's right.
We're going to be dealing with that Sony crap for years now because Venom made money.
We will. It'll be back. It'll be back. We might just see Carnage more.
Oh, we're gonna at least see Carnage. We're gonna get a Venom 2 for sure. But
oh yeah,
it's not. They're not gonna connect that with the MCU though. MCU is probably just like Marvel Studios is probably like, no man, it's not you, it's me. It's just not gonna work. You go do you. You got the whole Venom thing going. Go do Venom.
You have fun with that rated. I mean PG-13. Yeah.
Right. You're just not the right PG-13 for us. You should try R. You should try R-rated though. Give that a shot. You were talking about that, right? Yeah, I mean that was only a couple $100 million it probably cost you by not going R. But
oh yeah, and then there was that Deadpool thing. But we don't talk about that. Man, looking at the other characters here too. Hey, Scarlet Witch, that's awesome. Loki, yes. Man,
I would love a prequel Loki story.
Yeah,
that would be pretty great.
I mean, the one thing, say what you will about the Thor movies, one thing I get from at least a lot of my friends and others I talked to who are fans of the MCU was they look at the entire spectrum and they say, man, the one that just didn't hit me was the Thor series. Like they said, they really didn't get into that until Thor Ragnarok. They love Thor Ragnarok, right. Most people I talk to. But if there's one thing the Thor movies did a good job setting up, I think was leaving open-ended all this back-end pre-lore. I mean, for goodness sake, you just open Norse mythology itself. I mean, it's pretty much insert Thor, insert Loki into Epic X story. So.
Right. Well, and Loki was established enough as a person doing his own thing to where it wouldn't be weird to just see him either.
Absolutely.
It wouldn't be like, well, here's, we can't afford Chris Hemsworth, or Chris Hemsworth isn't doing Thor anymore, so we're just going to do Loki. No, it makes sense that Loki would be by himself. He wasn't always, they weren't hip to hip.
Sure. No, sure. I'd be with it. So lining up great. When we were first looking at all this and what Disney was exactly what they're going to be doing, we're trying to see, man, we're going to be running a Netflix and a Disney account side by side. It'd be worth it. But it looks like, just from this, this is already worth your time.
I mean, I got to be honest with you. Netflix continues what they're doing. I mean, I have Netflix for much longer. With the Punisher and Punisher season 2 and Jessica Jones season 3 are in production.
Right.
I honestly lost most of my interest in Jessica Jones. I'm not a big fan of Netflix's Punisher, but it was still solid. It was okay. But Voltron's going to be gone.
Right.
So all the reasons that I have to watch Netflix are leaving.
Yeah.
And it's not like Disney. I'm not a big fan of Disney animations and stuff like that. But it's not like they're getting so much with this acquisition of Fox.
Yeah.
So I may just go with Disney.
Hey.
I mean, if that is where my real MCU tie-in is, then I mean that's a huge thing.
Absolutely. We're too deep, man. We're committed at this point.
Committed. So I went through season 2 of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I'm committed.
That is commitment. Here I am, completely lacking in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I hear from you. That's enough.
Well, no, you're gonna do the next season with me though.
Oh yeah, we were talking about that.
We're doing it.
That's the thing.
We're gonna do it.
Unless I got too much Spider-Man to play or something, you can do it by yourself. We'll see.
Nope, that's long past Spider-Man. Nope,
okay.
We're doing it. And you'll have Legion at that time too, which may be the only good thing that's left for. Legion, where crossover characters are pictures of people's wheelchair wheel.
That's all the tie-in you're gonna get.
Yeah, that's all right. That show stands on its own.
It does. It does. It does. It's really become its own thing. I've liked it. I want to see they left it wide open. Still on track with Marvel though. There's a little something that's being worked on. This is an unknown MCU Phase 4 film. This is from the guy who wrote Wonder Woman 1984. Was it? Now you said that hashtag show, right? This report was from.
Yes.
Yeah, that hashtag show reported that Wonder Woman writer 1984 David Callahan is now working on an unknown film for the MCU. Callahan has worked with Marvel Studios before, doing uncredited work on the first Ant-Man film. So the film he's working on is likely an unannounced project, as most of the currently known films and project has writers attached to them already. The rest of this report basically said that it's not one of the aforementioned shows for the streaming service, so we do know that at least. Huh.
Yeah, take your pick. I know what I think I know what it is, but take your pick. So it's not Black Widow, it's not Black Panther, it's not Eternals. I think it's Doctor Strange 2, which I think
that's a good pitch.
Does not have an attached writer to it yet. I'm a little surprised. I'm still betting that Wonder Woman 2, Wonder Woman 1984 is gonna be bad. I just, from what I've seen, I'm not liking what I'm seeing so far. But whatever. This guy's got he's got a pretty diverse work history, including Doom. You remember that movie with The Rock?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah. Hey. Why is he's this guy? No, he's done a lot of good stuff too. He did a lot of the Godzilla stuff for the new Godzilla movies.
Right.
A couple other things, yeah. Yeah.
Sweet.
All right.
Oh, yeah. Hey, I'm drawing a blank and picking out of that hat. I think that's a safe bet. I like it. Especially because we need some resolution to a couple of characters. What was the fella who fell out with Strange because of the way that he was not only the way he was choosing to use the Time Stone, but their methodologies were completely different. He was more of an orthodox, hardcore.
I know. I don't remember his name. You're talking about the guy with the sword.
Exactly.
Yeah. He was the guy from Serenity.
Yep. There you go.
Yeah.
That
now I need to look it up. You go ahead and say other things, and I'm gonna look it up.
Deal. Yeah, that's a wide open plot thread that I can't wait to see tied up. I mean, he just sort of wandered out to oblivion, as far as we saw in the last movie. Not literally. He's still out there somewhere. He's out in the world, but he just not going along with what Strange is pitching. And
all right, I'm gonna try this. Chiwetel Ejiofor.
There you go. There you go.
Ejiofor.
Best.
Oh wait, no, that's the character's name.
Oh, all right. One more time then.
No, that is the actor's name.
Okay, no, you got it. You got it. All right.
I think so.
All right. Cool.
Waka waka. That's all right. It's okay. You'll never know how screwed up this whole segment really
was.
No,
you won't.
Me.
They won't. Oh man. Hey. What about Henry Cavill's screwed up facial hair?
Oh, he has none.
Yeah. Well, he doesn't.
Not this time, anyways.
He doesn't. Not this time. But there's always been choices around it. Okay. So look, if you listen to our show before, when we talked about Henry Cavill, and you remember the whole Superman Mission Impossible issue about the mustache that costed what? How much? Cash?
I think it was, what was it, 20 million?
Yeah, about like
the 20 million digital shaving, which looked like crap.
Yeah. To get rid of this guy's mustache, it costed 20 mil. Now we're having the opposite problem. Now you pulled my attention to this. There's going to be an upcoming series with The Witcher, and Henry Cavill's going to be playing Geralt.
Oh, that's true. That's going to be on Netflix. Maybe I will stick around with Netflix.
There you go. That gives that's something. That's something.
It is one thing.
No, I think it could be worth it. I mean, from what you showed me, at least the first pick I've seen, he nails it. I
Yeah, this looks good.
Yeah, he looks great. But it's so funny. Instead of getting rid of facial hair this time, like you were saying, add a bit more, man.
Yeah, he's got none. He's got like a 1 day. He's got like a 1 day thing going here. What do they call that?
5 o'clock? No.
5. Yeah, no, that's right. Yeah,
Okay.
he's got that going. It's too thin though.
Yeah.
He needs some real facial hair on here to it doesn't quite look gritty enough. In fact, he looks a little too clean overall.
Yeah.
Geralt tends to look a little bit dirtier. Well, this looks to be at least some kind of test photo for the show.
Right.
It looks. I mean, he's gonna. If they get him some facial hair, it looks like he'll nail this character.
I agree.
He overall looks like he has the demeanor down for Geralt.
Yeah. Yeah. In a lot of what I've seen about Geralt, he's really about presence. I mean, I haven't dealt into the Witcher series myself, but or played it, extensively or anything. But it's just some characters, especially people who fit them. You just look at it and you're like, yeah, that works. This was one of those cases. So totally down with that, and hopefully it doesn't cost them 20 million to do it this time.
No, just give him 2 days instead.
Okay.
Or a couple days, anyways.
Deal.
You'll grow it in nice.
Done deal.
I mean, he basically told Warner Brothers to F off to do this.
He did.
So I would suspect that this time around he will have the necessary or at least the appropriate facial features
Right.
for this production.
Right.
Or no lack thereof, whatever.
As he should. So, all right, for reals, looking at DC here, it turns out Ewan McGregor is going to play the Batman villain Black Mask in the upcoming Birds of Prey movie. This was a report from Variety. McGregor is currently in talks with the WWB to play. I'm sorry, I had to do that.
You did that.
I had to. I'm sorry. To play the villain Black Mask in the upcoming Harlequin spinoff movie, Birds of Prey.
Yeah, I think what's more shocking to me than Ewan McGregor, he's going to be in the worlds of DC, he's going to play a villain, is the fact that the Birds of Prey movie is actually moving forward.
Yeah.
It actually has a writer and a director and a release date set.
What a shock.
Now that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to happen, as you could ask people who are looking forward to The Flash. But as that has had scripts taken and ditched and multiple directors and multiple release dates, but I didn't think it was that far along. Ewan McGregor as a villain, I'll take it.
Yeah.
That sounds great.
Yeah. I mean, of course, I think Obi-Wan. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people do, but no, he's an actor with range. And anybody with range, there's nothing limiting saying, "Oh, you're not playing a good guy."
I would love to see Ewan McGregor's take on, hey, look, I'm a comic villain. So
yeah, same.
Black Mask. I don't know a lot about him,
right?
But I know a little bit, and if I remember, he's a very dramatic character. I think it would be interesting to see Ewan McGregor's take on that. So, wow, all right, good on you, WB. You got me one step closer to wanting to see a movie for the worlds of DC.
Yeah.
You tend to ruin the reasons more than you give them, so you're one step closer.
There you go. Sweet. Yeah, I really, man, I'm drawing a blank in this as far as any comic continuity. I don't have any kind of basis there myself, so hey, it's kind of surprise me. It's good. It's good. Or if he dies, he dies.
Well, it's not Halloween from 2016 anymore, and
True.
The Suicide Squad thing is kind of worn off a bit.
True.
For various reasons. I think it's going to take more than Harlequin to draw people in.
Yeah.
And I mean, if that being the case, this is definitely a step in the right direction.
All right. Good stuff. I probably not going to have. I probably won't have much of an eye on this, but I'm sure as news pops up as we go through Marvel news we look for, we'll see this. So expect it on upcoming shows. All right, sweet. Most of what we got for you guys this week centers around gaming, and I say rightfully so. There's a couple pretty thick topics to swim through here. The first of which, now we made these predictions a while back. This is about the PlayStation Classic. We were talking in one of our recent shows about what we thought was going to be there in this lineup, what deserved to make it, what made the cut, what didn't deserve to make the cut, special mentions, all of the above, and now we finally see it. So, let's break this down. Let's look at it. Now we already knew about a couple of these before anything. We knew that Final Fantasy VII, Tekken 3, Ridge Racer 4. No, it's Ridge Racer. Ridge Racer. I had to. I'm sorry. Ridge Racer 4, Wild Arms, and Jumping Flash were all going to be part of this. But now we got the rest of the lineup ironed out. Some of these, not going to lie, straight up just disappointed / perplexed by. Others, on the money.
Yeah.
On the money. So pat yourself in the back. Read a chocolate or something, Chris. We were
For
right.
What
We were
did I
right
get
on some of
chocolate for?
these.
Oh, well, it was our list. We sat for way too long and compiled a list of 15 that we thought should be on this classic, and I think we picked a couple that were maybe some far-fetched ones. But we given this list that they've given us now for the 15 that are actually going to be on there, it's a little surprising we got any right at all, because this is a list of dog shit in large part. This is not. I'm sure the hashtag exists. Not my PlayStation Classic.
Yeah, not my PlayStation.
Not my PlayStation Classic.
I know. I'm already thinking, man. Like, I wish like the not my childhood PlayStation trend in or something. Yeah, a lot of this stuff is things I'd expect to show up on PC or that. Just I don't think we're anywhere part of the early PlayStation just experience, early discussion. Or if it was happening, man. All right, that's on some obscure corner I wasn't tuned into.
All right, so here's the thing that you have to remember. This system, this mini console, is to encompass the feel of the PlayStation. And yes, there's thousands of different PlayStation games, and yes, what your experience was in the PlayStation is going to differ from other people.
Right.
But the point is to try to encompass that as much as possible, and that's how we tackled our list. We were very diverse. We picked a lot of games that were some of the biggest and best sellers for the console, and that was something that Sony had said they were going to do.
Yeah,
but that is not what Sony did. They did something else, and I'm really not sure what they were doing. All right, do you want me to read some of these off?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. So the 15, in addition to the 5 they announced, which I don't, so again, looking at those 5, I don't know what Jumping Flash is. I don't remember it. Ridge Racer 4, I said Gran Turismo would have been a better pick, but whatever. Right. Apples, oranges. So the other 15, Battle Arena Toshinden, which I think was our dark horse, because we had picked that one. Because it was a launch title for the PlayStation. It was huge.
Right.
You were a little younger. I was a teenager. I was like in my prime teens when this console came out. I mean, that was the game. That was the game. So, that was one that I lobbied that, not that you had any argument with it, but I was like, this is a launch game. This is huge.
Yeah.
Battle Arena Toshinden, Cool Borders 2, all right, I'm gonna skip the commentary until after I read off the rest of the list.
Sure.
Destruction Derby, Grand Theft Auto, Intelligent Cube, Metal Gear Solid, Mr. Driller, Oddworld, Abe's Odyssey, Rayman, Resident Evil Director's Cut, Revelations, Persona, Super Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo, Siphon Filter, Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six, and Twisted Metal.
Yeah.
Some of these were obvious. Like, you don't sell this console if Metal Gear Solid's not on there.
Of course.
That one was pretty obvious. Now, Destruction Derby 2, that was actually at the end of our honorable mentions and almost made our list, or Destruction Derby, I should say.
Right.
Because that, like Metal Arena Toshinden, was a launch game and was very popular. I remember we played that all the time as well. It didn't quite make the list because we already had Ridge Racer 4. And even though, yes, it's Destruction Derby, it was a racer game at heart.
Right.
We just felt that when we were looking at this list, and I think this was a different criteria than they were, it's like, man, there's so many great and popular games. We just, we have a game on here that's, I'm trying to think of the word.
Um,
Yeah.
obscure?
It's already representative of the early PlayStation launch and all that. That we didn't think that it could quite make the list.
Right.
I'm glad to see it's on there, but I think there was other games that could have been used for. Cool Borders 2 is BS.
Yeah, I agree.
Straight up. How is that on there? Not Tony Hawk Pro Skater.
Yeah, that doesn't add up, man.
How justify that? You cannot. I'm a big fan of the Grand Theft Auto games. I loved 3 and San Andreas and a couple others. I understand if Grand Theft Auto 3 came out on the PlayStation, I would understand it being on here,
Sure.
but it didn't. Grand Theft Auto 1 and 2 are completely different kind of games, and quite honestly, does not deserve to be on this list.
Yeah, I mean they aren't there. Hasn't there been a compilation already, like for the really early Grand Theft Auto stuff? If you
I
really
think
want
there has been.
yeah.
I think
So
there has been. Intelligent Cube, I remember this game was fine, it was whatever, it's a puzzle, but it also does not belong on this list.
right.
It just wasn't that big of a game.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense to me. Grand Theft Auto or Grand Theft Metal Gear Solid. I mean, yes, but what the hell is Mr. Driller?
See, this is the oddball here. I've
Well,
never
that
even,
is one of the oddballs.
I've never even seen that. Like, I don't even know what that is. Like,
And now, understand that they're doing this mini console for at least 2 different regions. So there's a different list for the Japanese version.
right.
So that's not even in consideration here. I've never heard of Mr. Driller.
No. It's like why don't you put, I don't know, something like Soul Edge there instead?
Right. Yeah, we can go down our honorable mentions list, or I guess even our picks, and find a million different
Easy.
games that would. Because you're only look, if you had 30 spots, I think we'd be having a different conversation. But you only have 20. Well, let me rephrase. You're only giving yourself 20.
Right.
So for this to be on here is weird. Oddworld, that was at like Destruction Derby. That was like one of the very last games we were considering, and just barely didn't make the cut
Right.
for us. So it's actually pretty cool to see that on there. Rayman. I mean, if you're gonna go with Rayman, how do you not go with Spyro or Crash Bandicoot? How do you not go with one of those instead?
There's a whole conversation there. We were talking about this a bit beforehand. It's like Sony has tried to wash its hands of the Crash Bandicoot situation ever since we had the whole mascot issue. That, oh my gosh, Crash is going to another console. He's betrayed Sony. He can't be their mascot anymore. And they just walked away from it. Just divorced him. So
I mean, Rayman's fine, but there's so many better 3D platformers to have chosen.
there are.
So, Resident Evil Director's Cut. That we picked Resident Evil 2
Right.
for this, and looking at the PlayStation 1 games for Resident Evil, I mean, it was a no-brainer. A Resident Evil game was going to end up on this list. It just seems to make complete sense to go with Resident Evil 2. It is seen for that first era and that original trilogy. It is the game. It is one of the best games ever made. It's up there on the list. Why do you go with Director's Cut? And I had said before we started recording, Director's Cut sold so well because of guys like me. And, my brother and I each bought a copy. We were huge fans at the time. We played the Director's Cut. We loved the Director's Cut. But you know what we loved the most about the Director's Cut? The demo for Resident Evil 2. That's what we loved the most about our Director's Cut. I mean, we played the crap out of both of them. That doesn't make any sense to me. It really doesn't. I mean, if this is supposed to be a representation of the best from PlayStation or what fans loved the most, you just can't justify Director's Cut. You can't.
Right.
And again, if you had 30 spots, then you could even justify giving Resident Evil 2 spots.
Easy.
And having Director's Cut and Resident Evil 2. But if you've only got the one, yeah. Anyways. Revelations Persona, you knew about this. My question was before the show, what is this?
Yeah.
I don't even know what this is. What is this doing on here?
Persona, this is such a weird pick here. I mean, and anime style sort of RPG elements to it. Look, like this is a series that's still got traction today. It's still something ongoing, but I just You know, I would have framed something like Suikoden before I put Persona on a list. That really surprised me, this being there, because this just wasn't. I mean, I was playing the anime style games back then too, but this just never came up on my radar. And of course, that's not. Yeah, I didn't cover everything. I get it, but I don't even remember people in my circle or when I was reading EGM way back or PSM. This just never registered. So I guess it was a big enough thing.
I bet you it wasn't. I bet you it wasn't. Super Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo. We had talked about this, but this didn't even end up in our honorable mentions. But I think the extent of our conversation was, I think it was me, but it could have been either one of us that said, "Hey, wasn't this a thing for a while?" And then that was about it for that conversation.
Yeah, Capcom had the whole, SD, super deformed thing with the old school style Street Fighter stuff, and then the new super deformed animations. They had the big advertisements, in a lot of the gaming magazines and stuff. Yeah, it seemed people really liked that for a bit, but dude, I never touched these because I looked at that. Somebody, I was playing Street Fighter Alpha series. I'll never forget when Alpha 3 came out, of course.
Well, yeah, when it comes to the puzzle games, I love me a good game of Tetris, but
classic.
Yeah, I can also play that in the NES Classic, I believe. So,
exactly.
Yeah, sure. That just wasn't a part of my PlayStation world, but it was a big enough game, I guess.
Yeah.
Like I said, we even talked about it, but it was just kind of like, oh, I think there's better things on this list. Now you had commented Siphon Filter and Rainbow Six. Although I don't think I feel quite as passionately about it. You were definitely WTF.
Yeah, I'm thoroughly pissed about both of those. I think those are terrible choices. That's something I'd quicker expect to show up on PC or insert generic shooter here. Yeah, if I'm throwing some shade against shooters, so be it or whatever. But these just do not belong here, in my opinion.
So in Twisted Metal, and we had said Twisted Metal 2 or 3. Right. I think we get a point for Twisted Metal though, and that was also kind of an obvious one.
Right.
Twisted Metal belongs. Okay, so here are the games that we picked that didn't end up on this thing, and you tell us if we had a better list or not. I'm going to work from the bottom up because the one at the top needs to be said last.
Yeah, it does.
Legacy of Kain, Soul Reaver, Legend of Dragoon, Driver, Einhander, Mortal Kombat Trilogy, one of the highest selling games ever for that console. Also practically a launching game as well, at least with Mortal Kombat 3. Final Fantasy Tactics.
Legend.
Crash Bandicoot, Warped, Silent Hill.
Another classic.
Tony Hawk. Look, I'm a kid of the 90s. I was a teenager of the 90s. I was not a big Tony Hawk fan, but all of my friends were.
Yeah.
They were all skateboarding stoners. And they all, everybody played these games. What's your Cool Borders 2? Get out of here with the Cool Borders 2. Tony, you paid to put Tony Hawk on there because that will sell your console.
Yep.
I can tell you that right now that I could call up all my old friends from high school and say, PS Mini with Tony Hawk? Hell yes. PS Mini without? Fuck that. All right, you lost yourself a bunch of money with that choice alone. Parappa the Rapper.
Oh yes.
That's a no-brainer, I think, as well. For at least for anything the sake of diversity, that is an iconic game. But the big miss out, Castlevania Symphony of the Night, is not on this console.
There it is. There it is.
My brain is oozing out of my ear. That makes no sense. All right, so let's go into honorable mentions. Other games that we picked that didn't even quite make our cut, but didn't even make this one either.
Right.
Spiral, Tomb Raider, Gran Turismo, Dino Crisis, Street Fighter Alpha 3, Road Rash, Valkyrie Profile. That must have been one of yours. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, Valkyrie Profile was mine. Yeah.
Mega Man X4, Spider-Man, Final Fantasy 9, Xenogears, Soul Edge, Doom. If you're going to put Rainbow Six and Siphon Filter on there, but not Doom. I'm sorry, Doom is right there with Battle Arena Toshinden and Destruction Derby. I get it. Doom has its own thing and has long surpassed its original days, and I understand that. But if you're going to start going with Rainbow Six and Siphon Filter, then you have to tell me why you don't put Doom on there. Because the
Yeah,
PlayStation, in large part, in its very early days, has a lot to thank Doom for.
yeah, it does, especially having that console port there. And if I'm forced to look at shooters side by side, if I'm just looking at these two picks, that's Siphon Filter and Rainbow Six. I'd lean more towards Siphon Filter only because I still remember that had quite an ad campaign behind it. I do remember there were enough guides and breakdowns from magazines ranging from like tips and tricks to everything. I mean, I used to love tips and tricks. Shout to that. Um, but it's something that popped up enough, at least, to where I thought it had more
Yeah.
visibility.
Uh,
But still,
Here's the thing. In all honesty, whoever picked this list needs to be fired. I wish I was joking more than I really am. This is a horrible decision. This list, I would almost say, oh, you're definitely in the tens of millions that you're gonna lose. I mean, I have no interest in this thing now. I mean,
right?
obviously it came down to the lineup, and they threw out the Tekken 3 into Final Fantasy 7 and the Ridge Racer.
Of course.
So what? So, if the draw for each person is going to be 2 or 3 games, then they're gonna play it on their phone, or they're gonna play it on emulators on their PC,
Right.
or they're gonna even play it on their PlayStation 1.
Right.
All right, this is a bad choice, and it's ironic because one of the honorable mentions that we had, actually 2, Armored Core. And what's the other one? Parasite Eve?
Yeah,
Parasite Eve ended up on the Japanese version of this.
Yeah.
And if we were going by our own personal choices, Armored Core would have been on the top 20.
Easily.
Right. I mean, that's in the top 5. For us, that would have been one of the 5 that we announce with the console. Is that, hey, scratch your head all you want. You had Jumping Flash on there, okay? You can't justify Jumping Flash. All right? You can't. More people are going to know what Armored Core is.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that's the truth. And so, I mean, I'm looking at the Japanese version more.
Right.
Which apparently is going to be cheaper. It's reading an article from Forbes that said that the Japanese cost translates to about $80 in US.
Oh man, that's like what, $20 off of what we're gonna pay? Yeah.
So, I mean, honestly, if it's compatible for me to get the Japanese version, I may just do that. It's cheaper and has more of the games I want to play.
Oh man, see now you're taking me back to the old days when we try to play import games, and then when people were like soldering their PlayStations to like mod it and like modding. Oh, you're voiding your warranty, man.
Yeah, I remember that was a big deal. People would laugh at you for that.
Yeah, they would.
But so would regional games, which is practically extinct now too.
Exactly.
Yeah, look. I mean, I'm putting a lot of rhetoric in there, but in all honesty, this is bad stuff. Whoever was in charge of this list, you made some bad choices, and Sony's going to pay for it. I mean, this had the opportunity to blow at least the Super Nintendo Mini out of the water. I don't know if you can do that with the NES Mini. I don't know. That's just too damn classic.
Yeah.
But you had a golden opportunity here, and you blew it.
Yeah. It's a bummer, man. I mean, especially with the history of PlayStation. I mean, bear in mind, this is pre-PS2. This was the groundwork for that and what set everything up. Hit after hit. When I think back to PS1, PS2, I mean, those just are truly great times. And we've, you just go through it game after game. There's just a massive list of stuff you can come up with. And even stuff I'm sure, we didn't hit on our list that you guys out there enjoyed. So, hey, look, if someone catches this line, please, what do you think of this decision that has been made for PlayStation Mini? How many classics are you missing? What would you have wanted to see on this? Maybe some stuff from our honorable mention, some stuff from our other picks, or just, hey, something else. Let us know. Kind of curious what you guys are thinking out there.
Yeah.
So, but
there's just too many oddballs on this. It's just not big enough.
Yeah, I agree. Misses the mark, man. Misses the mark. It's unfortunate.
I look at my NES Mini and I look at the games that are on that, and I mean, that's the standard. That was the standard that was set a couple years ago.
Right.
And what? I would look at the 2 in the store. This one's $40 cheaper too. And It's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, 2 controllers does not cut it. Okay.
It doesn't.
No, I ordered an official because I had heard that the controllers were insanely expensive. No, it wasn't. I ordered a second controller for my NES Mini, $10. That's cost. That's the normal price. So
Man. Well, what are you gonna do? Opportunity lost. So
that's right. What we're gonna do is we're gonna move on.
Yeah, and we'll talk about more opportunity lost, or maybe not fully lost yet. Maybe there's still some stuff in the closet. But hey, this is looking at BlizzCon 2018 that just passed us by. Of course, this is an event that
As if you didn't hear the explosion from this weekend. That's what happened.
It's in all likelihood you've seen this floating around somewhere else, or if you've read anything related to BlizzCon, this has popped up. So, okay, let's break this down. Just how we walked into the whole Diablo kerfuffle, as you're saying, Chris. We started off, we had some.
Excuse me, sir. I believe I used kerfuffle for a different topic altogether.
My bad.
This was not a kerfuffle. This was a giant, nasty pile of shit.
Okay.
So this was
Reworded. The disaster, you noted.
Disaster.
We had simple enough announcements leading up to this. Some stuff even people expected. The Warcraft 3 remaster is called Warcraft 3 Reforged.
That looks awesome.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. We had some cool footage released for this. Trailer-wise, hey, Warcraft is a prolific name, and it looks like this is definitely doing more than living up to the original. It's really cool to see a lot of this stuff recasted.
It's going to be cheap, too, isn't it?
I think so. I don't have an exact price for it yet.
I'll get the price. You go ahead and keep going.
Sure. You have Warcraft. Also, right along with that, what features some characters from Warcraft is Hearthstone. People who've got into that, kind of some of the online card gaming, have really enjoyed it. We got an expansion for that coming. It's going to be called, if I get this right, Rastakhan's Rumble. And I will leave that to that. I think I got it. We have an expansion for that. There was a bit of footage shown. I think out of some of the running Blizzard properties, Overwatch was the other one that got a lot of attention.
It always does.
Always does. This thing's still burning hot. You got a brand new character coming out, new hero, Ashe. Got to demo all of her different skills, her weapon type she uses, like her specials, her ulti, and all that good stuff, and kind of seeing how she plays in team. I know, of course, a lot of people in my circle play Overwatch. Chris, I'm sure you could probably echo the same thing, and they're going to be going bonkers over that. So.
No, just my nephew.
Just him, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I don't think I think he threw that away for what's that?
Fortnite.
Fortnite.
Yeah. So many people did. But I know I got a lot of my friends are into League and all that stuff, so they.
Yeah, $30 for this 4K remastered.
That's so good.
Warcraft 3.
So good.
Yeah, it looks beautiful. I saw it and I'm like, whoa.
Yeah. That's going to go over well. So we're laying the groundwork. BlizzCon's all right so far. We're riding along on our bike.
It's so far.
It's a sunny day, and then we got this.
That is the Force Awakens to the Last Jedi coming up here. It's all right. That's some cool stuff. It's okay. Yeah. We're not expecting groundbreaking stuff here. Here comes the sequel.
Yeah. We're pedaling down the street, and here comes Diablo. So, okay, just framing this real quick. Diablo has had massive anticipation leading up to BlizzCon. If you went on about any major forum, especially the unofficial Diablo forums or any of the major talking spots, everybody had whispers of Diablo 4.
To the point where Blizzard actually tried to stomp them down a little bit, which, by the way, that was the weakest attempt I had ever seen at something like that.
They did make the attempt, and I'm glad you mentioned that.
They made a crappy attempt. They're like, hey, now we have multiple projects going on for Diablo for multiple things. We're going to announce some awesome stuff. But what? Should I be excited or not excited? You want me to be excited?
Right.
I want to be excited. Let's be excited. But I shouldn't be. I mean, seriously, you read that thing and you're kind of like, they're saying, it's going to rock. Maybe not the way you want it to, but it's going to rock. It's going to kick ass. It's like, what? Should I be excited or not? I don't understand.
Oh, man. There was an interview backed with some of the Blizzard staff, and I think one of the co-founders as well. I don't think it's Beach.
A
His
Blizzard
last.
co-founder, I think.
Yeah,
It wasn't
yeah. Oh
just
no, you're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. One of the Blizzard co-founders. He was sitting down just talking a bit about this, about the expectations leading up to BlizzCon about Diablo and everything. And again, he pointed to the whole multiple projects thing. But he had said one thing, and I'm quoting him here. He was saying, "We want them to know that we don't know this isn't instead of other things we're doing, but in fact we're doing a lot. This is all additive. We hoped that would allay concerns, but we knew despite our most engaged, most passionate fans and players here at this show would only be satisfied with one thing."
that's a fair statement, though.
Yeah, it is.
But okay, so
So,
I'm gonna let you lay down the groundwork here.
so hey, that frames some of what we had leading up to this. I think Blizzard felt that a lot of the sort of subtly batting, the D4 notions down a bit would be enough to carry things, and only some of the loudest voices would go over that. But no, the things that kind of built to a fever pitch, and also because despite D3 having some rough starts to it, you had the Jay Wilson issue, you had the Real Money Auction House issue, you had unable to log in and things like that. D3 got built up to enough of a point with Reaper of Souls, even though we haven't had tons of extra content with that or another expansion to Diablo 3 in and of itself, that it's just become something at least people stop buying seasons, and it built itself back up enough for people to say, okay, hey, I can play that. I can deal with this until we see more, because I'm looking at D3 Classic launch to where it is now, and it's changed so much. Like, it's just been revamp after revamp after revamp. Blizzard stuck with it. People respected that, and they still managed, I think, to get some rep off that. So all of that leads up to where is Diablo 4. And look, I think even if you had just the title Diablo 4, because people know Blizzard aren't going to release it till they know it's right. Even if they knew it was 10 years away, that would have blown the roof off. People would have gone absolutely just nuts.
I don't know. 10 more years would have been a long time.
It would have, but you got, I'm exaggerating. But
yeah, I don't need to be playing Diablo 4 after I get my AARP card. And,
but I think just knowing something like that was in the wings, people would have been happy to at least see it. But we don't get that. In fact, people got drawn into it and then got the rug summarily pulled out from underneath them. So we get to the part of the show where we're talking about Diablo. Wyatt Cheng comes out to talk about this. He's been on the community panel for a lot of the D3 stuff. If you ever kept up with a lot of the updates and the stuff as they released it for D3 over the years as it came out. And lo and behold, we get an announcement. It's not Diablo 4, it's Diablo Immortal, and it's on mobile phones. And
mobile bones?
Bones. Maybe my mic might cut a bit.
Okay, mobile bones.
Mobile
that
bones
sounds cooler, but look, there's a lot here. Blizzard, shame on you, honestly. You already know what people want. You already know what people are looking for, and no one's expecting you to give it. But I think, Ian, you have a good point where you say, look, just throw down a damn poster and announce that you're making the game.
All you gotta do.
Just say you're making it. Everyone knows you're making it. Every interview that you're talking about, we're working on multiple projects and whatever it is after Diablo 3. Is that Diablo 4?
Is that
Because it's at 4 comes after 3. Just announce it. And look, this is Blizzard's fault.
Yeah.
To a degree, because they take so goddamn long.
Yes, they do.
Mike, what was it? It was 10 years from 2 to 3? More than that, wasn't it? It was long.
I know you're in the neighborhood.
I think it's right around 10. I think it was right around 10, maybe even longer. And generally speaking, people they don't mind the wait. But Blizzard, you forgot what this year has taught us. Since the end of last year, since the end of 2017 to now, is that you being a giant mega corporation with all kinds of trust and blah, 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 nobody cares about that anymore.
Right.
They will trash you regardless. We have seen the fall of Star Wars and EA. Well, EA is not actually has fallen a couple times, but it kind of sucks because EA eats companies as it's going down. But
yeah,
it's people don't care about this anymore. I think they the one developer says, "Don't you have phones?" I have money. I mean, seriously, I couldn't believe that when I saw them. Don't you have a phone? Yeah. Really? Don't how out of touch are you? I mean, but part of why I say that and what's important about that is that people don't just trust in companies and brand names anymore or IPs. Some do, but a lot of people won't. But your PC fan base is definitely the most skeptical.
Definitely.
And that is their bread and butter from top to bottom. Yes, they sell on consoles too, but if you took away their PC fan base, Blizzard falls within a year.
Yep. Absolutely. This is exactly what they cut the teeth on. And as you said about the announcement, I look no further than the fighting game community when the fake Marvel vs. Capcom 4 poster came out. It was electricity. People went insane, and that wasn't even fully verified. So, but like you said, not only missing the opportunity for that announcement, but really doubling down on something that was immediately unpopular. This was met with boos.
It was, and it was shocking. I haven't gotten to that part yet because I've got a whole thing I'm going to say about that. But
yeah, man, I mean, this is something that it was just wildly unpopular. I think out the batch.
Their presentation was gross. Showed the obviousness of their gross misunderstanding of their hardcore base right now.
Right.
Which honestly, besides, what's that shooter's name that they have? Overwatch. Thank you. Yep. Well, and not just Overwatch, but mainly Overwatch, which is bringing in a buttload of money.
Yeah.
Even still, but that has its fans. But I mean, when you get into StarCraft and Warcraft and Diablo,
yep,
that shit goes back 20 years.
Yep.
I mean, your average Overwatch player is not even reaching 20. They're in their early teens, or maybe not early teens, but they're in their teens. You're talking about your hardcore fan base. They grossly misunderstood these people, and that was who they should have known. And I think that's why you got the vitriol that you did on this. And he's just like, really?
Yeah.
How long have we been together? And this is it?
Right.
I think that's where a lot of it stems from.
There were a lot of people, the original port of the console port for D3, that didn't even have the same kind of poor reception that this did, and I think enough people were willing to sort of let that slide. And we get it, okay, Activision extra, okay, we'll deal with it. But I think what really concerns Diablo fans here is waiting for that announcement of something fresh, and then knowing that the next entry in your series is not going to be on PC.
I think that upsets some people that this is an actual entry to the series. If this was like a port of Diablo 3, you might have gotten a different reaction.
Right.
But now this is a prequel. It takes place between 2 and 3.
Yeah, it's at a kind of funny setting as far as we can see.
Who cares though?
Yeah.
Who really cares about that? This is not. I mean, this is part of the Diablo canon. Who cares? It's a mobile game. But for those who are upset about they're going the way of the microtransactions and they're working on this game instead of other Diablo. No, none of that's all garbage. Okay, microtransactions have been a big thing for Diablo for a long time. With Overwatch, they have their games where they do this, and they have their games where they don't.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with that. Yes, they worked with another company, and the interface that company used for another game looks similar to what Diablo is going to be using so far, just because it's become a very popular interface for games such as this over in that part of the world, in the what would you call it, over in the East.
Right.
This did not take away at all from any other development for the game. They dare not say Diablo 4. I mean, they should have thrown. I mean, but for them to have the presentation that they did, they should have known that this is going to fall like a ton of bricks.
Yeah,
they should have known it. And Yeah, shame on Blizzard, really, really. And at the end of the day, you need to understand this. You should have known how, and then you've got guys like, again, with the comment, don't you have a phone? I mean, Jesus, what's wrong with you? I mean, and that probably did nothing but. I mean, you could have just backed up a gas truck
Easily
at that point. Just unload it all right on the fire. I mean, really? Am I out of touch because I don't have a phone? Which, of course, he has a phone. You just want to play your phone game. Now, Ian.
Yep.
I still stand by my initial reaction when you told me about this. All that being said, let the flames happen. I can't wait to play this game.
Yeah, you're like, oh, you said, you're like, I still can't wait to see it. Yeah,
I can't. Look, let's get a little bit of context here. You and I are hardcore Diablo fans.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, I gave Blizzard $12 a month for 7 years to play one of their games. Okay. I'm a big Blizzard fan for the most part. We love our Diablo games.
Oh yeah.
I would say you're a bigger Diablo fan than I am, though. You definitely will stick with it longer than I will play it for even years, and I'll play it off and on.
Right.
I can't remember the last time I played a Diablo 3 though. It's been a while. It's not even on my computer; it's still on my laptop.
Oh man.
One of the things I've been wanting on my phone is a really awesome action RPG, just like Diablo, to play on my phone.
There you go.
So that being said, they completely missed the boat on the people on their hardcore fan base, and I don't blame them one bit, especially for the way they kind of pinged off each other.
Right.
And it's like, look, you're the company that's trying to sell these people stuff. You're treating them like crap. All right. That being said, I can't wait to play this damn game. It looks great. It looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's the one thing you can't knock here. I mean, there are some people who are saying that it appears to be a clone of some other.
Yes. No, there. I guess there's a lot of things similar to the company. I can't remember the names.
Right.
Company Blizzard's working with on this. I guess it looks very. It looks like its own game.
Yeah.
And Blizzard has said that it's been built from the bottom up. In reaction to what a lot of people have been saying, like, no, we built this from the bottom up.
Right. And I knowing Blizz, it's going to have that quality and that polish in terms of gameplay. It's like, I've said this all along.
It looks like Diablo.
It does. Look, no matter what you think about D3, even initial release, there is something that has remained rock solid about that. At its core, it's awesome gameplay. It's well done. It's got a good engine and it's well designed. And Blizzard are more than capable of that. And I'm sure they will do that again. So, but this is this will take some digging.
I think that this is a natural progressive evolution of Diablo to end up on mobile. Quite honestly, I would maybe say so it should have been out sooner, but it definitely was going to happen eventually.
Sure.
I don't think that some people probably have genuine issue with this, and yes, there's going to be microtransactions.
Yeah, of course.
Of course, there's going to be microtransactions. Just don't buy them. Control yourself. I'm gonna have fun with this. I'm gonna play a Crusader all over again. Maybe even Necromancer this time.
Hey.
For my mechanical phone game in between Diablo 2, I don't care about any of that. I'll be looking for the Diablo game that shall not be named for actual story progression. I'm not looking for that out of the phone. I'm looking for a reason. Just give me the excuse to play this game and kick some ass and throw my shield around the whole screen again. Where are you sitting on it?
Man, here's the thing. As you said, I've stuck with D3 enough to even still. I stop by for some seasons. I'll do I'll do hardcore. I'll get the season achievements. That's good. I'm all right because I've pretty much seen the rest at this point. With this announcement, I'm still not in the crowd of completely, don't download this at all,
This game's going to do very well.
No, it will. I'm actually pretty sure it will, considering today's market and whatnot. It's
the casual base, which is the majority of your phone game playing base, gives zero shits about what happened.
Exactly. I'm gonna look at this when it comes out, just because look, I like this series too much. I always have. I will take a look at an entry regardless. It's almost kind of like, and maybe AC made his gluttons for punishment, right? But I think there's an element if you're attached to a series, you not only want to see the evolution of that, but what types of steps they're taking, in these entries, in these other games. Am I disappointed about not seeing D4? Yeah, but I tempered myself down beforehand. Look, dude, I'll be honest. It's not because I'm an embittered gamer. It's just D4 is always one of those things. I said I'll believe it when I see it. I don't think it's going to be 2018 necessarily. I'm not betting my cards at BlizzCon. I'm glad I didn't.
Here's the thing that I've learned about Blizzard and what you can expect for D4. You're either going to know when they're going to announce Diablo 4, or you're going to have no damn idea until you see it on the screen. There's not going to be any anticipation. Maybe not. No. You're either going to know it, or you're going to have no idea. It's either going to happen with the, it's going to, there will be talk about it for months beforehand, weeks going in, photos leaked, this and that, blah blah blah, to the trailer that's going to blow your mind.
Right.
Or you're going to be sitting there at BlizzCon one year, and you're going to think you're going to see something completely different, and then boom, right in your lap, Diablo 4, and you never saw it coming. It's going to be one or the other. And they've done that time and time again in the past with other games.
Right. There's been talk in the wake of this that Blizzard had scrapped plans to announce D4 going into this. That they thought about it, that they'd had just a little something, and they decided not to. I don't. And mainly because you could say, of course, the company's going to dispute this. When you have any, and Blizzard have disputed it. They said, well, no, we actually didn't have any plans for D4 beforehand. But that's another one of the first things you'll see coming out of this whole thing. A lot of people saying that, well, there, and they sort of removed it from the keynote and just left Diablo Immortal. I think what people look back to was a little something a couple weeks before BlizzCon. This was around October 17th or so. That there was a blog post that got posted from Blizzard that basically told fans D4 was in the works, but wouldn't be at the show. And I'm quoting something. I just thought this was interesting. It says, these are very exciting times. And this points kind of at what you were saying, Chris. We currently have multiple teams working on different Diablo projects, and we can't wait to tell you about them when the time is right. We know that many of you are hoping, we know that what many of you are hoping for, and we can only say that good things come to those who wait. But
they need to
often take longer. Yeah, see,
they need to quit being so coy.
Yeah, all the coy and roundabout language that this is it's gotten them into some trouble. So
yeah,
there you have it.
And it's like what I said at the very beginning. It's like you don't screw with your fans like that.
No,
just we're beyond those days. This is not 10 years ago or 20 years ago when inside information was few and far between.
Right.
And could you trust what you just read in tricks and tips from 2 months ago? From Game Informer, that's actually 6-month-old news, and is it even real? That's not the era we live in anymore. Somebody needs to be accountable for what happened this weekend. For honestly, in my opinion, I think it should be the guy who looked and says, "Don't you have a phone? Get out of here." One final thing I would say about this: the guy who walked up to the mic and said, "Is this an out-of-season April Fool's joke?"
Yeah.
Bravo, sir. That was rude as hell. I would have done it, but bravo for doing it.
He has been pretty applauded on the Diablo forums as well. I was looking into the general discussion. You pointed out, of course, Blizz forums get hostile sometimes, but it's been downright united. In fact, I took a screenshot of the page about a few hours after the announcement. Literally, the entire pages upon pages general section was nothing but either pay respects in the series, and everybody was typing F, or, announcement disaster or something. Literally every single topic, every thread. And I guarantee you about 70% of those I went through all had that comment referencing that guy. So,
well, this has gotten kind of dirty, I guess. I guess on the YouTube, on their YouTube channel where they have the trailer, they were saying they were deleting a bunch of stuff. Yeah. And, and on their forums. And you can't be doing that. Now you're getting, that's just Blizzard again being out of touch and being horrible. You're especially, man, you don't want to mess with the PC fan base. They play dirty.
They're rabid, man.
Jeez, I don't even know which one would be worse, the Reddit community or
or your
PC gamer community because they'll hack your shit. All your stuff will disappear.
Ugh.
Kind of ironic because back in the day that was one of the same with the Diablo community.
It was.
Yeah, you just go back to the drawing board and you better rock it next year.
Yeah.
That being said, I find myself in the interesting situation where I agree with the mob, but at the same time I want to play Diablo Immortal. So, no, I'm with you. Hold on, I got boss fight coming up here now. So I'm with angry. Give me a sign to hold up after I'm done with this.
It's like everybody calm down, chill out a bit, turn lane. Wait, hold on, let me play this. Yeah, get him.
That's right. In a second.
That's funny.
I'll get in line with you in a second.
Love it. But no,
good.
Yeah, man. Yeah, despite probably one of the most incendiary events I've seen for Blizzard in a while, I mean, hey, I got no doubt it's going to have that Blizzard polish on it by the time they release it. So
I'll tell you all about it.
Hey, please do. Please do, man. And like you said, you're probably you might catch it a bit before I do. I'm going to check it out, though. I'm gonna check it out. We might even do some multiplayer or something. We'll see. So, all right. Well, last but not least, up on our gaming slate, there was another announcement that did go over well. We finally have the entire roster revealed. That is for the upcoming Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, aka Smash 4. We got the last character trailer announcement that is going to be released, so the roster is complete now. They had a big mural picture that they were slowly filling in as character news came out. And the last two characters are Kin and Incineroar from Digimon. I had no idea what Incineroar was, man.
A cinnamon roar?
Incineroar. No, Incineroar, like incinerate. Incineroar.
I was like, what is that? Like a cinnamon roll that's yelling at you?
I mean, it sounds delicious.
A Cineroar.
But hey, with that makes the cast for Smash 4 70 characters playable.
So I don't own a Switch. I knew we were going to be talking about Smash Brothers here. I was looking at this list and I just kind of browsing through it and I saw the name Akira.
Yeah,
but that is not Akira from the movie, from the anime.
It's not, and that's
awesome would that be?
Akira.
Just like Tetsu will come up there and just start making his arm all weird and grabbing people and squishing them. And
man, it'd be serious business if Akira himself showed up. Like if we're talking about like the original, like from that movie, he'd mess people's day up. You know what? Yeah. That would happen. Have you ever played Mugen? Familiar with that? So Mugen is it's hilarious. It's this giant mashup sort of like Smash like port PC thing that. At fighting game tournaments and mystery tournaments, you'll see it. And it's just this ridiculous roster of anything from, like, Batman to Homer Simpson.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, the crazy Mugen mashup. Yeah, I'd expect Akira to show up in something like that.
Yeah.
But,
Super Smash Brothers Ultimate.
Man, yeah, Virtua Fighter and some others from Street Fighter and others, they're still going to be in it. They're going to be part of what are called the Echo Fighters. That's almost kind of like a microcosm of the...
Yes, yeah. Why are they Echo Fighters?
So...
because they're not Nintendo characters?
Well, I believe that name comes from the fact that they're sort of... Like, their assist, when they help you out, like, in-game, it's sort of like an Echo. Like, you can't play this character, but they will come in and, like, do an attack or, like, leave a special there or, like, just do something cool.
Okay.
And... That's kind of fun because that harkens back to one of the earliest crossover games, the first like Marvel Superheroes and MVC, where you had assists that were there. You had your third quote unquote character, but you couldn't actually play them. But they were there, like they came in and they throw stuff down and things like that. And you have a similar deal here. Like from what I saw in the footage, if you call in Guile, he'll flash kick somebody like trying to come in for a jump and stuff like that. It's pretty cool, and they got a really good roster for that too. So. Yeah, if you count all those to the roster is insane for this game. And bear in mind, Nintendo are going nuts with the whole unlockable system. Now, if you played any old school fighting game, unlocking characters is always a thing. Whether it's unlocking the last boss or whatever else. You only start off with 12 characters in this. And you unlock all the way up to 70. That's insane.
See, I'll be getting a Switch here in the next year. I worry about Super Smash Brothers and me. I have a feeling that if I were to ever really get into Super Smash Brothers, I would lose myself. I I would disappear and I would come back out months later in just all kind of wearing cosplay stuff and just think I don't I don't know. I don't know. I could totally see myself losing my brain to Super Smash Brothers.
I was about to say, how can you? Is it because you think that would ignite something in like your competitive side fighting games, or?
I just think it would hit so many damn triggers. Nostalgia, childhood stuff, and
Yeah.
fighting game stuff, and I would,
Oh man.
yeah, I would end up like I'd steal my brother's old Robbie robot, and I would pray to that.
Oh Lord. Oh man. I mean, hey, this game, dude. I think that this is gonna be a hit. Period. Like, I
Oh my
think,
God, it's already a hit.
yeah, it's.
It's done.
I for one am just glad that when I see this appear at Evo, the Smash players will finally be off of CRTVs. Like, the people like Gaming Generations and the others who help sponsor these events and bring the equipment and everything have to be so fed up with that. Here you have all these PS4s, running on HDMI output and everything, and then, all right, let's get out the CRTVs and wood tables, Smash players incoming, and then playing on like the super old system too. And the Smash community have been sticklers for saying nope, it's this version of Smash, it's this system. That's it. That's all you play. And so now being pushed in that more definitive direction, I think this is going to be cool. It's people are going to play this on the run. You're going to see this. I'm really interested to see the Smash scene, how they're going to pick this up, and what they'll do with it. It's going to be everywhere. So love it, love it. Well, that brings us to the end of our gaming, the end of our shows, but not the end of this show fully. It's time for an info minute. Chris, you're the WoW guy here.
I used to be.
You used to be. You used to be at least. What's the most obscure way you've ever seen somebody level or hit max level?
Sorry, I had to clear my throat there.
If there really was.
I don't know. I mean, WoW's kind of different from most MMOs, at least going back to older ones. I mean, I don't play a lot of the newer ones. Like back in the old days with Asheron's Call, you used to be able to set up macros where you could leave a character in alt alone and like just cast stupid spells and they would just level as you're gone. I don't know. I guess WoW hasn't really done a lot of that.
Yeah.
Things tend to level cap after a while. You just don't get XP if you're killing things that are too low or stuff like that, or it becomes like such a waste of time to for the XP that you're getting.
Right. No, I mean, I was curious about that because I mean, you've seen way more of a slice of this than I have. I came across this and couldn't help it. Most of the time when I run across an info minute, it's usually not something gaming related, but I had to mention this because it's just so off the wall. Now, this is about a player who actually sort of garnered his fame from a really obscure way of leveling, who never picked a faction, who was always a pacifist. He's known as the Pacifist Panda. I think specifically is his handle. But this is the player's name is Double Agent. He recently, just about a week or so ago, he reached level 120 by only picking flowers. That's all he does. He actually runs a stream where you can, when he is leveling, when he is trying to hit the new cap or whatever it is, you can drop in and, well, see him picking flowers. That's about it. People cheer him on. People love it. People donate to his stream and all that good stuff. A lot of people, it only took about a week or so to hit max level when Battle for Azeroth came out. But this guy, 77 days. 77 days of doing nothing but picking flowers. No mythic rating, no ganking, no, just flowers, man.
So how many hours a day?
That's
on
the
average?
question. That's the question.
Yeah.
I'm not too sure how long his sessions were, but let's break this down a bit more. So, at one point, he shared his playtime, but I think people started kind of ruffling him about that. I know we know that when he was trying to reach level 90, it took him 175 days worth of time. Don't know how much he was spending, hourly each day, doing that or wherever else. But if you do check out his YouTube channel, he does have it, where he streamed, endless loops of him picking flowers. We know that it took at least another 244 hours for him to go past the previous cap of 110 and get up to 120. So yeah, it's I guess maybe the closest I get maybe 10 hours or so a day. I think some of the estimates on this.
Wow,
So
that's a lot of time.
So the guy has had crazy perseverance to just keep doing this, to not pick a faction, to not get involved in anything, just sit on the side and just do this ridiculous grind. I mean, this puts the G in grind. And while I've never played Warcraft myself, I mean, hey, I am an MMO player. I actively play FF14. I played some older ones. This is nuts.
Nerd.
This is just nuts. I am. Thank you.
You nerd.
Nerd.
I knew to quit after 7 years.
Yeah.
No, yeah, this is stupid.
Yeah.
Look, you always have that oddball who does that, and so he's that guy.
Yep.
He's that guy. Particularly, that's cool because yes, when the Mists of Pandaria expansion came out, you could you picked a faction. It was like a new race with a new class, and each side had options to the class though, and you didn't have to just be a Pandarian. Which, by the way, Pandarians suck. Who wants to play a freaking panda? Get out of here with that.
Do they have any like traits for picking them specifically? Some kind
yeah, in all races do. I don't remember them.
Okay.
And sure, someone's going to be that guy, and that's cool that he's making some money off of it.
Yeah.
He's doing his thing. He actually got popular for it. That's cool. But I would never do this.
Yeah.
I mean, it's World of Warcraft, not World of Pick the Flowers. Pick the flowers. I'm just gonna pick the flowers. Why don't you go play Hello Kitty Island Adventure?
Oh man.
Whatever. He's doing this thing. He's making a statement.
He is.
The pacifist panda.
Yeah,
I mean, if he was on a PvP server, I'd gank his ass.
I know you'd be after.
But I would just the principle of it. Hey, good on you.
Yank. Oh man.
Hey, I have a statement to make too. This is all the way after you're dead.
Good day. Me, it's Tuesday.
And I would take if it was possible, which it wasn't in the game. After I killed him, I would then take all the flowers he'd been picking out of his inventory. I would throw them. I would toss them on his dead corpse. Cover him. I would bury him in his flowers that he had been picking because there's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of flowers. Trust me, there's at least hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of flowers, if not more.
I think that would be the effective upgrade to a bag. Right there. Right there.
Right. I mean that would be something where eventually my guildies and I probably would have just like taken turns ganking him and watching over him and constantly killing him. That's how you did it. That's how you ran. That's how you rolled back in the day. If you want to play Warcraft, let's talk about the days of vanilla where whole guilds would camp you. You didn't even necessarily have to do anything to piss them off. You were just there, and they were just bored. If that's your evening, just go ahead and log off because they're going to be there all night, and there's a good chance they'll be there when you log on the next day.
They'll be waiting for you.
You tack on another 77 days to your leveling.
I was about to say, did you lose XP for that?
What, for dying?
Yeah.
For killed? I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't remember. It's been vanilla was a very long time ago. And yes, I know full well that he probably was completely safe where he was because it probably wasn't a contested territory, so he couldn't get killed anyways unless he flagged himself. But that's not fun now, is it?
No. Oh man. Yeah, it's That's the kind of perseverance that I wouldn't want to touch. I'd rather spend that time getting something awesome or in a cool raid, whatever, putting,
I would end up wanting to burn down that whole area as a Pandarian, just like grab a flamethrower and say, I had enough of this shit. Light a cigarette off the burning flowers.
Oh man. Then he goes totally like Daredevil Hell's Kitchen mode. He has like a dark arc after that. Oh man.
Yeah.
Love it, love it, love it.
The only way to defeat darkness
There you go.
is to become the darkness.
Burns the flower patch. Love it, love it, love it. Oh man. Fun
Hey,
stuff.
hey, so guys, are we done? Are we done, Ian?
Yeah, that's it, man.
Okay, all right. Now the interview. Okay. Comment below. Let us know what you think of all this stuff, especially the like you had said earlier, the PlayStation Classic stuff.
Yeah.
Let us know what you think of the list. Let us know what you really think should have been on there. Yeah, I think they missed a mark. And tell us how you feel about the whole Blizzard thing. And if I'm just a backstabbing piece of shit, you can go ahead and comment on that below. Let me know. Let me know what you think of that. That's fine. I'll take it. I take it. It's just a video game.
There you go.
It's not The Last Jedi. So,
that'd be a different story.
I'm fully in the camp. Lucasfilm is sucking. I'm one of the reasons Solo flopped.
Hey, boy, got. Alrighty.
Except for the fact that I had to pay to review it. But
you did.
yes, I did.
You tanked
but I
that.
had to review it, otherwise I would not have seen it. Anyways,
hey people, thank you all for tuning in. As always, look, we appreciate it. Stay tuned right here on this channel, not just for our weekly
like
show.
and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. It helps us so much. Dropping a like or a comment, all that good stuff. We're going to catch you guys back here again real soon with more of everything. Till later, peace out. Hey people, thank you for tuning into this episode and taking a listen. If you like our content, if you like what you're listening to, there anything we go over, hey, please, we would not only love to hear more from you, but if great if you could throw some support. You can subscribe right below. Also, you can toss us a line anytime. That's ksongmedia@gmail.com. Of course, you can tune in for our channel anytime for movie reviews, game reviews, a lot of random wacky stuff. Who knows what you'll hear. And of course, our episode each week where we're bringing the nerdiest things we can find, dig up, and maybe not find. Maybe the stuff that just drops in our laps. But anyway, hey, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for listening. We hope to hear from you again later. Take care.